Om Namah Sri Yatirajaya Vivekananda Suraye Satchit Sukhaswarupaya Swamine Tapaharine. We continue our study of the Jnana Yoga. We are entering into the most interesting part of this Jnana Yoga. In India, 3 schools of philosophy have become most popular. Of these 3, one is extremely popular among the intellectuals, but the least understood and the least followed. The other 2, dualistic schools, Dvaita and Visishtathvaita, they are most followed and much easily understood. This school of philosophy, which propagates, preaches, is called Advaita Vedanta. And if we have to ask one question, what is Advaita Vedanta? We can never understand it unless we understand the very foundation of Advaita Vedanta. That is the concept of Maya. If we cannot understand the concept of Maya, we can never understand the propositions of Advaita Vedanta. We all use that word Maya. In fact, my talking about and your listening about all fall into the realm of Maya. According to Vedanta, let me also here clarify one particular misconception. Before Sriramakrishna, the word Vedanta meant only Advaita Vedanta. After the advent of Sriramakrishna, he tried to change, and still we are under the past misconception. Vedanta means only the non-dualistic philosophy. It's not true. Our ultimate goal is Advaita. Sriramakrishna's famous saying, Advaita Gyan Anchale Bendhe Jai Ichha Tai Kuru. Tai Advaita means self-knowledge at the corner of your wearing cloth, and then do whatever you like. Very paradoxical statement, because once you tie Advaita Vedanta, first of all there is nobody to tie, nothing to tie, nobody is to see it, and nothing to do. Which reminds me of a very funny, punny Advaita Vedantic verse. Here goes the son of a barren woman, having bathed in the cooling waters of the sky and having decorated himself with the horns of a hare. This is the description of what does it mean, son of a barren woman? Doesn't exist. What are the flowers grown in the sky? Nothing. So, having bathed in the cooling waters of the mirage. Do they exist? Nothing exists. What does this verse really mean? It means that the person who is saying and the person who is listening, both are fools. That is why Bhagwan Krishna in the 2nd chapter was forced to say, Ascharyavath Pashyathi Kashchyathenam. Some people, they look at it with wonderment. Behold it as wonderment. Experience it. They cannot believe it. The person who listens also listens it with wonderment. And even after listening, nobody understands. Why does anyone cannot understand it? What is the reason? The secret lies in the very word Maya. What is Maya? Ya, ma. Reverse the word. Ma, ya. Reverse it. Ya, ma. Ya means that which. Ma means is not there. And yet we talk about it. Without that, we can never understand what is called the non-dualistic, the highest philosophy. We can never understand. Because one of the very first obstructions we encounter as soon as we try to understand, first of all, who are you who is trying to understand? Second, with which instrument are you going to understand? Thirdly, what is it that you really want to understand? Because all these 3 fall under the category of Maya. What is Maya? That which doesn't exist. And Swamiji had to expound this greatest doctrines, most fundamental doctrine, because he wanted to preach nothing less than the non-dualistic philosophy, Advaita Vedanta, in the West. Before starting this series, I had given several reasons at why Swamiji had preached only non-dualistic philosophy and nothing else. One of the most important reasons is that the whole world is becoming connected together in so many ways. Religions are being connected, social customs are being globalized, and the eating habits are being globalized. Everything has become what we call a Khichdi, a terrible mixture. And in this climate, in this situation, if at all anything appeals to man, that is only Advaita Vedanta. And why is it so? With one simple reason. I have already dealt with it, but since my memory is poor, I am reminding myself about it. So many religions, and every religion claims I am the only path to the highest bliss, to God. They go on quarrelling. What could unite? Only one philosophy. That is the philosophy of non-dualism and nothing else. Again, the greatest enemy of the modern world, the greatest friend as well as the greatest enemy of all of us is science. Because science produces technology. Technology produces gadgets. Gadgets make us eat three things: time, space and causation. And what is Maya? Time, space and causation. Where is time? Gone. By the time I started, I wanted to tell you so many things. Already how many minutes gone? 9 minutes gone. Space and causation. These are the very fabric of three gunas. So Swamiji's greatest task was, he wanted to explain the highest philosophy in the simplest terms to people who are not familiar. Lest you may think Indians are supremely intelligent and they understand Advaita Vedanta. They do not understand. Very, very few people understand. Who understands what is Maya? Only a realized soul understands what is Maya, and no one else. Because the very instrument with which one tries to understand Maya, that instrument itself is the main mischievous agent of Maya, which is the intellect. Whatever we try to understand through the mind, through the intellect, is nothing but pure Maya. What a difficult concept it is. And yet we are living here. And yet we are denying it here. And yet we are accepting it here. We are doing everything here. And yet at the same time, we don't understand anything of it. Swamiji was trying to explain it. What is the way to explain something which is not really explainable? What is the definition of, description of Maya given by the great Shankaracharya, who is the propagator of Advaita Vedanta? Aghatana, ghatana, patiyasi. Maya is that which seemingly makes the impossible possible. Just try to understand. Why did I say seemingly? Because if really the impossible becomes possible, it is not impossible. What does Maya do? It seems to do seemingly impossible things. Maya can do that because it doesn't do it. Can you understand it? If you wish to understand it, you have to understand the analogy of a dream. Anything is possible for a dream. You can fly like a bird. You can be in Delhi. In the twinkling of an eye, you can be in Delhi. You can be do anything, be anywhere, be anything you want. That is called Maya. So, Swami Vivekananda delivered 3 lectures, each lecture at least lasting 1.5 hours in London. And we are very fortunate because, our Swamiji delivered where? Our place. That is Maya. Maya and illusion is the first lecture, not first lecture in Gnana Yoga, first lecture in series of Maya. Maya and the conception of God, and Maya and freedom. Swamiji has lucidly expounded the concept of Maya in his 3 lectures, and that's what we are trying to understand. Once I think I mentioned it to you, very peculiar statement. Sriramakrishna is an aphorism, and Swami Vivekananda was the commentary at his level, at direct disciples level. Swami Vivekananda is the aphorism, and Swami Dayatmananda is the Bhashyakara, commentator. Yeah. The funny thing is, we also, what is Maya? Time, space and causation. Desha, Kala, Nimitta. So we all have to spend time. I have to spend my time. And you also have to spend your time. I have to think that I have done something really useful. And you also have to feel you spend your time very usefully. Because afterwards you come and tell. Either it is very illuminating or it is not at all understandable. Whichever statement you make, it is a very useful thing. Our whole life is totally useless. Because when you find this statement, this greatest truth was summarized by Gaudapada in his Mandukya Upanishad Karikas, Mandukya Karikas. He said, first of all, there is no illusion, Maya. There is no spiritual aspirant. There is no spiritual practice. There is no bondage. There is no liberation. This is the highest truth. So what are we doing? This is spiritual practice for me. It is spiritual practice for you, and especially in summer season, especially in the afternoons. Okay, coming back. Let us remember what is Maya. Aghatana ghatana patiyasi. That seemingly impossible feat of doing, making it possible what is impossible. What is it? That Brahman is made to forget its pure the nature of its pure consciousness and make it feel, I am not infinite, I am not eternal, I am not unchanging, I am ephemeral, I am limited, and I am changing, I am finite. That is one side of the story. What is the other side of the ghatana? This finite man, who can never hope to become infinite, again Maya makes him, the finite becomes the, apparently, seemingly becomes the infinite, apparently the limited becomes the limitless, apparently the unchanging becomes, the changing becomes unchanging, apparently the bound becomes absolutely free. This is called aghatana ghatana pati. Sriramakrishna had, in his own inimitable teachings, have dwelt upon this particular topic. I am going to read from there for today. It is just an introduction. Sriramakrishna, he classified Maya into two. You all know about it. Vidya Maya and Avidya Maya. So what does the Avidya Maya means? The ignorance, the binding part of the Maya. What does it do? The seemingly impossible thing, that which is unlimited, that which is infinite, makes it feel like I am finite, I am limited. I am Brahman becomes I am Abrahman. I am Brahman becomes I am Brahma. Vidya Maya, what does it make? The limited man, through the help of the Vidya Maya, what does he gain? I was limited, but I am now unlimited. I was finite. I am now infinite. I was changeful. Now I am changeless. What a grand Maya. Okay, before we go further, I would like to start this series, 3 series, with as an introduction. First I will take the teachings of Swami Adbhutananda. Then I will take the teachings of Sriramakrishna. I hope for today that's more than enough food for all of us. First, Swami Adbhutananda. Man identifying himself with the ego becomes bound by Maya. Paradoxical sentences. Human language. It is not that man becomes bound by Maya. The moment man thinks, I am so and so, that itself is the bondage. Not that first it comes and something else comes other time. Just like, the moment you are in darkness, you cannot see things. You cannot see things because you are in darkness. So darkness and the ability to see things, which has disappeared because of darkness, are not two separate things. First comes one and then next comes another one. Both come exactly at the same time. In creation and destruction, in happiness and misery, in success and failure, in every domain of duality is Maya's play. Shortcut, Maya's play is duality. Duality is Maya's play. Non-duality is just the opposite. Maya of itself has no independent existence because very profound teaching. If Maya has an independent existence, you can never get rid of it. If it is an illusion, you can get rid of it. If it is truth, you can never get rid of it. If Maya is in existence, eternally we will be here only. But that's not the case. All the scriptures emphatically, with one voice, they roar, you are free. Vedahametam purusham mahantam adityavarnam tamasah parastat tameva viditva atimrutyumeti nanyah pantha vidyate ayana. Swamiji roared this most inspiring Shvetashvatara Upanishadic statement at the Parliament of Religion. Similarly, Maya is of the infinite being, but is not the infinite being. Maya belongs to God, but Maya is not God. This is one particular statement. Sriramakrishna is very fond of saying, the wave belongs to the ocean, but the ocean doesn't belong to the wave. Profound Vedantic statements put in these very simple words. If we have never studied any Vedanta, the meaning of Sriramakrishna's words would be very simple meaning. But if you study, then oh my God, this is what really he is trying to restate in his own simple word. Yet true it is that the ultimate purpose of the play of Maya is to lead man Godward to the infinite reality. Here is the greatest teaching of Sriramakrishna and his order. Before Sriramakrishna, somehow you have to destroy Maya, never again to be caught in the net of Maya. But Sriramakrishna turned the whole thing upside down. And what does he say? He says, Maya is not Maya. Maya is Guru. Maya is the teacher. Maya will lead you out of Maya. Maya is nothing but the infinite. Its only function in life, only mission in life is to lead us slowly from the state of duality to the state of non-duality. This is the function of the Maya. Without Maya, do you know what happens if there was to be no Maya? We will be forever here. But that is a wrong statement, because without Maya, we would never have been here. Just imagine, every Sunday is a holiday. Every Saturday is a holiday. No class, no clash. The ultimate purpose of Maya is to lead man Godward. First, avidya Maya. Can you believe? The avidya Maya means the binding part of Maya, the illusory part of Maya. What is its purpose? Not to drown you, but to give hard beating and take you slowly, awaken you and take you to the highest. Can you believe it? We don't believe it. Unattached and with perfect balance, Maya plays her dual role. On the one hand, it is she who lulls man into forgetfulness of his true nature. And again it is she who awakens him to the consciousness of God. These are the profound statements specifically on the subject of Maya by Swami Advaitananda. So what is Maya? We are talking so much. Come on, tell me what is Maya. I will start with a simple story, and I am sure quite a number of you know this story. And this was so dramatically narrated by Swami Vivekananda in the West. What is Maya? There was a great sage called Narada, and he was the greatest devotee of Lord Narayana, and he had what you call one-to-one access. Anytime he can go to Lord Narayana. There is no visa problem. There is no password problem. He can just write straight, go to Narayana. And we can also do that. But we need a password. Why? Because Narayana is not there only. He is also here. But Narada, he has that, what is called eternal, permanent visa. Once he went and requested, Krishna, Lord, I heard so much about Maya. I would like to know what is Maya. Sri Krishna smiled enigmatically, because that is also part of the Maya. And then he said, okay, I will grant you your boon. What happened? Few days passed. Narada might have thought, and the Lord has forgotten his promise, that is how it looks like that. 3 days you cry, and I will come running. How many years you have been crying? No dress, no address. One day, Krishna said, Narada, let's go for a walk. Remember, this incident happened in South India. Because it was very hot, very humid, summer season. They went out for a long walk, and probably they didn't have breakfast. They walked for hours together. And Sri Krishna said, Narada, I am just feeling very thirsty. Would you kindly go and fetch a glass of water? Fortunately, there was a small stream. On the other side of the stream, there was a small village. Narada procured a small glass. He went and then went into the middle of the stream, bent down to take water into the cup. What happened, he found himself on the other side of the stream disappeared. Suddenly the village appeared. The first house in the village, he went and he knocked. And the moment he knocked, as though someone was waiting inside for the door to open. The door was opened. What does he behold? The most gorgeous young girl, so pure, so innocent. Sir, what can I do for you? Oh, I would like to have a glass of water. Please come inside. It is so hot outside. Please come inside. He was only too glad to be invited inside. And she asked, mind you, this is not what Swamiji told. In essence, yes, I am adding a lot of spice. So, Narada went and sat down. Narada forgot he was Narada. You have to understand that. He was a young man in the bloom of youth and rearing to enter into Srishti Sthiti Samhara. That's what we are going to come through. Then he forgot all about it. What's your name? And whom do you have? She said, I am the only daughter of my father. My mother is dead and my father is a farmer. He has gone out into the fields for doing some horticultural activity. He will be coming soon before sunset. Please. And then she might have provided some food, etc. Swamiji did not furnish the details. And that must have tasted like Amrita at that stage of his exhaustion and thirst. And he enjoyed. Time passed. What is Maya? Desha, Kala, Nimitta. Nimitta gone. What for has come? That is finished. Desha, he forgot. The stream was there, stream disappeared. He found himself in the... And Kala, time just passed like that. Towards the evening, the farmer came and he was too glad to find a prospective son-in-law. And then he entertained him and then he said, Sir, you must be tired. Please take rest. First class food naturally provided, cooked specially by that young girl, innocent girl, and you can understand, second by second, minute by minute, Narada's mind is being engulfed by what? Moha. First Maya, then Moha. Moha means infatuation, terrible infatuation. And then few days passed. Then the father told, Sir, you led a useless wandering, useless brackets, wandering life for a long time. You are a young man. Our scriptures emphatically emphasize that you have to lead a grihastha life, married life. This is the greatest ashrama in the whole world. You have to enter. And Narada need not have been told twice because he already decided in his mind what he was going to do. And if that father by chance refuses to give his daughter, he would have even murdered him on the spot and then got him. Marriage took place severally and then slowly he was induced. Got married, then slowly the father introduced, these are your fields now, I have only daughter, everything belongs to you now, come on. And Narada learned how to cultivate. Narada has started learning cultivation and then his father-in-law slowly died and then slowly he started having children after children, quite a number of children, and he became very prosperous by God's grace and he started accumulating lot of money. In those days there was no banking facilities. All the money had to be stored, deposited at home only in pots, coffee pots and all those places. Several years passed and children were there, totally immersed in what we call samsara. And he was very happy. And when we are happy, time just passes like that. After several years, what happened? One day suddenly, Narada woke himself up and found his hair is suddenly turning grey. And then one day, he was about to go to cultivate his fields. That stream which disappeared in the first place, now in flash floods flooded that stream. And the entire village was about to be inundated. And then everybody will be damaged if they don't move. Then Narada, his wife, his children clinging, and then all his accumulated wealth, he had to go to the other side of the stream. Raging by now, flash, you know how dangerous flash flood is? 1 minute, it is most dry. Within 5 minutes, huge elephants can be carried away. That's why it is called flash floods. Narada had no go but to enter because to remain there is to court destruction. He started crossing, the current was too much. First his wife was snatched away and then two children were sitting on his shoulders and two he was holding and two were holding him. One by one the children are separated by the current. They were being going and you can imagine the amount of agony with each separation like tsunami. Finally, everything was lost. His money was lost, children were lost, and then all the memories came flooding back, how happy he was. From that highest state of domestic bliss, he had fallen into the lowest state of unmitigatable misery. And then he said, Oh Lord, what have you done? Indians, always, anything good, who has done? I have done. Anything that happens wrong, oh Lord, what have you done? One poor man came to one of our Ramakrishna mission Swamis and he had 12 or 13 children. The Swami asked, what for did you come? I want some help from you, Swamiji. Why? I am so poor. Why are you so poor? I have got 12, 13 children. Oh, who asked you to beget so many children? Swamiji, kya karenge? Bhagwan diya hai. God has given me. Swamiji said, if God has given you, go and ask God, why are you coming here? This is the Indians, They know about Maya, they talk about Maya, and they talk about all these things. Highest philosophy comes from everybody. When they need not practice it. For Upadesham, it comes. So, Narada was in the lowest depths of indescribable misery, and in that state, suddenly he heard, my child, why are you delaying bringing water? Please come. The moment he heard it, all Maya had fallen, because these are the Bhagavad Vani, the words from the Lord. And then he looked, Bhagwan Krishna was sitting under the tree, and he was still holding that flask. He had not yet filled up. How much time has taken? All this drama, how much time did it take place? Within a few seconds, like a dream. Narada quickly filled up the water and then gave to Bhagwan Krishna, made one sastanga pranam and said, Lord, I have a request to you. What is it, Narada? You grant me that boon by which I will never again ask you, what is Maya? Sriramakrishna tells this beautiful, Narada, Bhagavan was pleased with Narada and asks him, Narada, ask a boon. Narada says, Lord, I am able to take your name. I don't want any boon from you. But the Lord insists, you accept a boon from me. And then says, oh Lord, if you have to give me a boon, give me this boon. May I never fall into the clutches of your Maya. The Lord was even more pleased. Then he says, you ask another boon. Then Narada said, if you have to give, I am asking because you asked me to ask you. He said, may I have motiveless devotion to your lotus. I don't want anything. To ask that we should never be under the clutches of Maya, may we never have the experience of Maya. That request can come only from one person who had somehow experienced Maya, knows what is the depth of the misery, and that. It is a very symbolic story. Who is Narada? We are all Naradas. And we have asked the Lord, oh Lord, let me experience your Maya. And you are attending the class, and my talking about Narada's Maya is part of that Deshakala Nimitta Maya. Now, this is what the story of Narada is. What is Maya? What is Maya? That which seems to happen when really nothing happened. And everything happens only under three conditions. Desha, Kala, Nimitta. Time, space and causation. That is called Maya. That which doesn't exist but seems to exist, that is Maya. Shankara's beautiful commentary in one of the mantras of Katha Upanishad. Oh, how unfathomable, inscrutable and strange is this Maya, owing to which every creature, though in reality identical with the Supreme Brahman, and though instructed as such again and again, doesn't grasp the fact, I am the Supreme Self, whereas even without being instructed, he accepts as his self the non-self. I am the son of so and so. Verily, deluded by the Maya of the Supreme Being, all people are wandering and wander. There is Shankaracharya. He goes into ecstasies in describing this indescribable effect of Maya, because nobody can define Maya, but we can define the effects of Maya. And then he gives people, oh, mom, dad, where are you? Why am I suffering? From every corner of the earth, these cries are going up to the Lord. A whole passage is a description of the effect of, I will spare you that suffering. But here comes the greatest incarnation of God, the latest incarnation of God, Sriramakrishna. Before I take up his teachings, I will have to tell you the symbolism of one of the incarnations. One of the 10 incarnations accepted by Hinduism is Varaha Avatara. God incarnated as a boar. It is all God's grace. Every story in the mythologies is laden with meaning. What is meaning? Varaha means a boar. What can a boar do? It can dig. One of the animals which can successfully dig. So one of the avataras. What happened? The story was the earth along with the 4 Vedas a demon comes and takes it to the very bottom of the ocean. All the people were crying, and Lord Narayana, he promised to rescue the earth. Then he comes. He digs deep, and then he goes to the bottom, fights with this Varaha, and he destroys the demon and rescues the Vedas. And then he comes up, and then balance is restored, dharma is re-established, and the world goes on for some time. Only for some time, remember. You know why? Because if it goes on forever, God will not have the opportunity to come down. So he has to come down again and again. And we are all eager helpers for him to come down. How do we help? By being adharmic. Because he comes only when we are really misbehaving. He comes. This is the very short story. The Vedas have been taken down. The Lord goes down in the form of a Varaha by digging deep down, and then he comes up after destroying the demon, rescues the Vedas. What is the symbolism of this? Rescuing the Vedas means what? Really you think a number of books have gone down the drain into the ocean? It means the truths that are deeply hidden, these so many people, those who misinterpret in their own arrogance and pride and scholarship. And ordinary people have no way but to listen to these people. And because of these various misinterpretations, so much of quarrels and misunderstandings and non-cooperation, everything comes up because of this result. As a result, the Lord, every time he incarnates, what does he do? He becomes a new Varaha avatar. Means he takes up the scriptures and then he dives deep. He brings out the original truths that have been covered, and then he explains to people in the simplest understandable language to people like us. There is a song is about Sriramakrishna. And in that song there is Saral Kothaye Shikhale. O Lord, you have taught the highest truths in the simplest terms. Anybody can read, anybody can understand in his or her own way. Of course there are depths of meaning, but everybody can understand the simplest commonsensical meaning. And that's what every time an incarnation does. There are so many religions. Christianity accepts incarnation, but only one. Accepting Hinduism and Buddhism. No other religion accepts, let alone, meaning Judaism doesn't accept incarnation, they only accept prophets. Islam never accepts, accepting even Muhammad, according to them, is not an incarnation of God. He is a prophet. Prophet means what? He is a very wise man, a pure devotee to whom God dictated his understanding of what is life, what should be done through Prophet Muhammad. But what they forget, every time over number of years, ages, what we call millennium, etc. Age, every time a new millennium comes, the circumstances vastly change. Under changed circumstances, our understanding of these spiritual truths also become changed. We will be definitely lost. It is at that time God incarnates, lives that life as an ideal, as an inspiration. And he brings out all these truths which are there, but as if they were completely hidden to us in their freshest meaning, gives them a depth of meaning which we can understand at that particular age, and then makes the path, even Swami Sharadanji says, makes the hidden paths an open path and discovers new paths. Every incarnation of God, I have already told, 4 effects of incarnation of God, if you still remember. What is the incarnation? What is it? His name becomes a mantra. His teachings become new scripture. He himself becomes an object of adoration and meditation. Ishtadevata, one of the gods to be meditated upon. Finally, in his name, an organization springs which it tries to preserve his teachings intact for some time. But again, organization degenerates. There is another name. But these 3 things remain for a long time. So this time Sriramakrishna came. If you understand the story of Varaha Avatar, what did he do? Reinterpretation of the scripture suitable for this particular age, so that we can also understand, and without understanding we can never practice. I will just give 1 or 2 examples. He said the coinage which was current in Mughals' time is not currency in the Nawab's time. Sriramakrishna's teachings on Maya, expressions on Maya. There are so many times Sriramakrishna refers what is Maya, what is Maya, what is Maya. But he importantly expresses it in 4 different meanings. If you don't understand that, you will not understand what he really means. 4 different expressions. Let me read out first of all. The ephemerality and triviality of the world and its values. What is the 4th commandment of Sriramakrishna? Always practice discrimination. God alone is real. Everything else is unreal. But what does he mean by unreality? Sriramakrishna himself says, unreality is not saying non-existence. Unreality means that which is of short duration. Ephemerality, changingness, changefulness of things. This is one sense in which Sriramakrishna uses that word Maya. Second, the falsity of the world called mithya. This world is false. Now this person is there, he is dead. Mithya. Elaborately, we have been discussing this concept of mithya, seeming reality. Mithya is not to be equated with non-existence. It is not existence, it is not non-existence, but it is seeming existence. You cannot say it is not existence because you experience. You cannot say it is non-existence because you are experienced. You can't say it is existence because after some time it is not there. What is existent is permanently, eternally existent. And what is non-existent is permanently, eternally non-existent. But whatever seemingly existent means, that which is changing, and that changing doesn't happen in the object. That changefulness comes because of our perception. When you mistake a rope for a snake, no real snake the rope has never become a snake. Where is the rope? Outside. Where is the snake? In. That is most important. That is called mithya. Not able to see a thing exactly as it is, but by mistaking it as something else. That is called mithya. That is called adhyasa, superimposition. This is the second. What is the first one? Changefulness. Everything is changing. Ephemeral. Temporary. What is the second thing? Falsity. Because it is temporary, it is false. Third, Brahman in his aspect as power, Shakti, at which the mind arrives in its search for the cause of the world. We all live in the world of cause and effect. The moment you see a child, what do you ask? Whose child is this? That means you are seeking what? The cause of the child. Everything in our experience falls under the net of cause and effect. Therefore, if you take the whole world as a whole, you will also have to take that. What is the cause of this world? And that power, because of which this world has come into effect, that which made this into an effect, that cause is called Maya, Brahmananship. Fourth expression is the expression of the power in the world as the twin forces working for the bondage as well as liberation of the egos, experiencing the world spell. We are all experiencing the world spell. We are in the world. We are worldly. But there is 2 expressions of Maya. Vidya Maya, the liberating Maya, and the binding Maya. So Sriramakrishna used it in these 4 senses. As the cause of the world, as the cause of changefulness in this world, ephemerality, and also as the binding and liberating power. All these expressions were there. Now I will just read a few sayings. Comment will come later on. Most wonderful. You have to understand, why am I taking, instead of going to Swamiji's teachings, why am I spending my time, your time, on explaining these things? I made earlier a statement. If Sriramakrishna be an aphorism, Swami Vivekananda is a commentary. Or the gospel of Sriramakrishna is the greatest Veda for today. And so he used this word Maya in so many ways. Illusion, the cause of this universe, the cause of our falling into this illusory nature of it, and so many effects, but at the same time, it is she who also liberates. Here is a profound philosophical significance. An illusion can never destroy illusion. What can destroy illusion? What can destroy ignorance? Only knowledge. Knowledge and ignorance are as opposed as light and darkness. And here is that peculiar nature of Maya, according to Sriramakrishna, that Maya itself manifests in both as illusion as well as liberation. Ignorance as well as knowledge. Think of it. Meditate upon it. You will see what a profound enjoyment you will get out of it. Let me read first. God himself is Mahamaya. Because if Brahman is one, where from this Mahamaya? This is the one significance. Details will come later on. First, God himself is Mahamaya, who deludes the world with her illusion and conjures up the magic of creation, preservation and destruction. She has spread this veil of ignorance before our eyes. We can go into the inner chamber only when she lets us pass through the door. Living outside, we see only outer objects, but not that eternal being, existence, knowledge, bliss absolute. 2. Master to Balaram. Maya is nothing but lust and gold. A man living in its midst gradually loses his spiritual alertness. He thinks all is well with him. The scavenger carries a tub of night soil on his head and in course of time loses his repulsion to it. 3. Maya comes from God. 4. Parable of the fish and the net. 4 classes of men. Devotees of Thakur must realize, a fisherman casts the net into a fish pond and there are 4 types of fish comparable to 4 types of people. Eternally free, those who are liberated, those who are struggling, and those who never entertain the idea of struggling at all. The world is like a fishing net, etc. 5th, Maya is nothing but the egotism of the embodied soul. If you ask where is Maya, what is Maya, you can't understand. But if you ask where is Maya, where is it? Egotism. What is egotism? I am this, I have this. Ami, Amar. I and mine. That is mine. Minefield. Mine is a minefield. 6th, this Maya acts like a cloud. The sun cannot be seen on account of a thin patch of cloud. Most marvelous statement. Shankaracharya explains this. I will explain it a little bit. You see, there is sun. But what happens? Cloudy weather, you say, cloud. Now, who produced the cloud? It is the sun. And who covers up the sun? It is the cloud. And how could you know that there is a cloud? Because of do you see what I mean? The creator of the cloud is the sun. And you could see the cloud only because of the light of the sun. If it is darkness, night, you can't see the cloud even if it is there. And yet, this small patch of cloud can cover that vastness of the sun. This is Maya. It clouds. Rama, who is God himself, was only 2.5 cubits ahead of Lakshmana. But Lakshmana couldn't see him because Sita stood between them. Lakshmana may be compared to the Jiva and Sita to Maya. Man cannot see God on account of the barrier of Maya. Just look, I am creating a barrier in front of my face with this towel. Sriramakrishna was talking to the devotees. He takes up his towel and he puts it on his face. He says, now you can't see me, even though I am so near to you. Likewise, God is the nearest of all. Tadu antarasya sarvasya. God is far away. God is so near to us. That's why the very word Upanishad. Upa means what? Near. Near means what? Near means not near. You are nearer to me. Not in that sense. Near means you are God. And that which takes you to that knowledge is called Upanishad. Likewise, God is the nearest of all, but we can't see him on account of this covering of Maya. So Maya is a covering. Maya creates upadhis. The Jiva is nothing but the embodiment of Satchidananda. But since Maya, our ego, has created various upadhis, upadhi means that which coverings. Upadhi means covering, sheaths. How many sheaths we have in Vedantic language? 5 sheaths, Panchakosha. Or, according to another version, 3. 3 bodies. Gross body, subtle body, and causal body. Sthula, Sukshma, Karana, Shariras. Then there are 2 expressions of Maya, Vidya and Avidya. We already dealt with it. 10th, the universe is created by the Mahamaya of God. First he says God himself is Mahamaya. How does he create? First he becomes Mahamaya and he becomes the world. Mahamaya created means what? Not like a potter creating a pot, but like the clay becoming the pot. Through the help of Vidya Maya, one cultivates such virtues as the taste for holy company, knowledge, devotion, love and renunciation. And Avidya Maya, the illusory power, consists of the 5 elements and the objects of the 5 senses, form, flavor, smell, touch and sound. These make one forget God. 11. Why there is evil in the world? A Brahmo. If the power of Avidya is the cause of ignorance, then why has God created it? Illogical question. Because creation means what? Ignorance. Ignorance means what? Maya. Maya means what? There is no creation. Why did God create non-creation? What do you say? Brahmo. If the power of Avidya is the cause of ignorance, then why has God created it? master. That is his play. There is no answer. This is not an answer. It is his Leela. This divine Maya is made up of 3 gunas. Another definition of Maya. What is? Maya is nothing but manifesting in the form of 3 gunas. Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. And all 3 are robbers. For they rob man of all his treasures and make him forget his true nature. The 3 gunas are Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. Of these, Sattva alone points the way to God. Pointed teaching. What is it? It doesn't take you to God, but it only points the way to God. But even Sattva cannot take a man to God. And then Sriramakrishna ends giving the most beautiful parable of the 3 robbers. We will discuss this very interesting point. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.